jolly good afternoon to you from a rather chilly autumnal but fairly bright Hanover Hauptbahnhof station, and I'm quite thrilled today actually. This is my first time in Hanover, and first impressions are really quite good. So far so good. Mind you, I have just come from Frankfurt, so to be fair, anything is better than Frankfurt. I'm sure there might be some that disagree with me on that score, but certainly when it comes to the Hauptbahnhof, this one is definitely better. It doesn't feel like you're going to get mugged as you walk through it. Anyway, negative comments aside, I'm going to take a bit of a wander around here. I've got a few hours, around about 3 to 4 hours, and I'm just going to get a first impressions wander around this fine German city in Lower Saxony. So come with me, let's see what we find along the way. First of all, I can see that it's November here, and I can see that they're currently setting up for the Christmas markets, which traditionally open on the very last week in November each year. And I think after COVID, this is possibly the second year that they've operated, and maybe even the first. No, it's definitely be the second. They'd have been open last year, but for maybe 1 or 2 years these Christmas markets were a bit of a damp squib, to say the least, because of unfortunately COVID and lockdowns and what have you. Excuse me. So I'm just going to take a walk into the Mitte area, the central area of the city, and have a little look. I don't know much about the place, I've never been here before, so let's go and see what we find. But there's certainly a massive difference in vibe to the one I was witnessing yesterday in Frankfurt. It was probably just the area around the station quarter, Bahnhofviertel, that is notorious and has been for a long time. I'm sure there are some much nicer parts of Frankfurt that I just simply didn't get to go and see. Certainly didn't see any of those guys. So, literally, as soon as you come out of the central station, in fact, this underground shopping mall, if you like, promenade, as it's called there, continues on through to the Hauptbahnhof there, and up runs at the lower level. German stations are great actually on the whole, Frankfurt with it accepted of course. They're usually a fantastic range of shops and places to grab some food and drink, and plenty of options, not just a Burger King and that's your lot, like you can find in some places. Always a good bakery. There's Kaufhof Galleria shop there, which is a kind of an equivalent to John Lewis's maybe Debenhams, yeah, that kind of thing. Apple store there, doing a roaring trade as usual. One thing I will say, most great German cities have trams and a river. Hanover is no exception. Not seen either yet, but they definitely do have both. And when I go out to see a band later on, I'll be taking the tram. There's something going on here, probably collecting money or for charity. Quite a congregation of people here. I think it's probably something to do with a charity. Some early Christmas stuff on the go. And one of the centrepiece Christmas market stalls, waiting to get going in a week or so. Who likes glühwein then? Oh, this is the Mitte area, central shopping area if you like, characterised by the modern and well-known local and mostly international brands. I'm gonna just keep walking in this general direction and I should come to the old town. Now, I've not really heard much about the old town here. I don't know why. Maybe it's not on a par with some of the other old towns that are worthy of a visit, like Cologne, for example. But you never know, I just might not have heard, so I'm going to head over that way now and see what it's like. Got an U-Bahn here as well, always useful to have an U-Bahn to get around quickly. Might jump on that later to head back to the Hauptbahnhof. I like that Nordsee stores, they do some great backfish and brötchen. Hot or cold? Definitely better hot though, and other seafood. Always a nice selection in these shops. And then the takeaway stall there. Yeah, backfish baguette. £3.99, €4, which is just over $4 or just under £4, whichever currency you operate with in your head. But anything inside a piece of bread here in Germany, or inside a bread roll, is always pretty good, it has to be said. Bread's great, bread is great here. And there's a lot of bakeries too, which helps price the prices and also the quality. Looking at that choice of places to visit, I think I'm going to head off in this direction and then work in a kind of an anti-clockwise circle back towards the Hauptbahnhof eventually. It's all pretty much of a muchness along here though. It's nicely pedestrianised, I have to say, which makes for walking around that much more pleasurable. The weather's certainly getting cold now. We're well into November, which makes those Christmas markets when they open up all the more appealing. And standing outside in the cold eating hot food is one of life's great pleasures, I think. I'm not so keen on the well, the hot chocolate's okay, but warmed up alcohol drinks not exactly my thing, but they are popular. Soon got quite quiet actually. So I've got away from the main shopping area. The Altes Rathaus. Is there anyway. Marktkirche, I think he said. Apologies for my appalling German. Big doner kebab shop there. Huge amount of doner shops here in Germany, and on the whole they're pretty good. Look at that selection there. 3 different what do you call those? lumps of meat. A chicken and a beef one, and presumably lamb, the other one. Again, it's another one of those things, like the bakeries, there's so many kebab shops here, as there are in Britain too, that the price and the quality tends to be fairly good. And if somewhere looks a bit iffy, it probably isn't, but you'll probably find one that doesn't look quite so iffy without having to look very hard. So it's always worth a little Google when it comes to stuff like that. Just getting up to the Old Town area now. And a very fine Christmas tree is just currently being erected. Held up by this crane at the moment. Marked Kirche. Here we are in the Old Town. Fairly typical looking kind of old town, if you get my drift. Usual array of shops, cafes and restaurants. Not particularly busy, I have to say. Maybe not quite as quaint as some of the old towns you can find knocking about around various German towns and cities. It's a nice relaxed vibe here though, I have to say, in comparison of course to the sort of very edgy feel that you get in Frankfurt. Does anyone else have that feeling about Frankfurt? Let me know in the comments if you do. I mean, to a certain extent Berlin's similar as well. However, there's a, I don't know, a much less threatening feel about Berlin. There's a Hanover Museum there, for those that like that kind of thing. So I'm just going to take a little wander down in this direction to the right and have another little look around the remainder of the old town, and then over to my left on the other side of this museum there is the river, and I shall take a little walk along the river, assuming it's possible to walk along it, of course. Sometimes you do find rivers with wasted ground by them that you can't walk along. Not usually a problem in Germany, so I'll be interested to see what there is there. I'm just going to go and just have a bit more of a look just up here first, and go and see what that big building is there with the green roof on it, just poking its head above the other buildings. They're Ballhofplatz. I shall show you why it's called that in a moment. My rudimentary understanding of German isn't really helping very much, and there's none of that in English for the benefit of me. No. There's the balls. Crane hiring companies are doing a roaring trade at the moment with putting Christmas trees up. This is a nice little square actually. Ballhofplatz. Don't know what that is. I'm probably here about 3 weeks early. guess that's the Bulls at Bullhof-Platz. Nice green crane there, just spoiling the view slightly. Charmed by these quiet streets. Obviously the Mitte area, central shopping area, was very busy on this Saturday afternoon, as you'd expect. But once you've got through the old town area, which was also fairly quiet, it is really very, very quiet along here. I'm looking forward now. I'm just heading towards the river. Just hopefully it'll be clear which way I go when I get to the end of this passageway. Some very interesting looking buildings as well. I'm going to take a punt on this way and then left turn. I guess it's called the River Leine, L-E-I-N-E, Leine, I would say. That's the pronunciation. It's not the River Rhine by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a river, and I always think, as I say on many occasions, most cities only benefit from having a river running through them. And this one looks to be quite interesting. I can already see that walking along it is totally doable. Appears to be, oh, that looks a bit cold. There's some guys down there on what appear to be like wakeboards or something. There's a bit of a weir down there. I'm just going to walk down that way in a moment, have a bit of a closer look. I can't imagine that's very warm today. Just kind of reaching what appears to be some kind of ring road around the city now, and I would expect that beyond this is just residential areas and commercial areas and so on, and possibly not of much interest to me. Some interesting statues or whatever you want to call them just down here. Let's go and have a little look at those. Well, I'm not really sure what these are. Interesting artwork. Ah, there's a sign down here. Didn't see that to start off with. Well, I could do with a bit of a clean. Nimptplatz. Fortunately, it's all in German again, but I'm guessing. I'm guessing that's got something to do with these. Entirely sure what that that is on the floor and what it's all about. Right, let's go and see these guys that appear to be wakeboarding in the Leine River here, on what is really a rather chilly day. I think I'll probably walk down the wrong side, but they're certainly drawing a bit of a crowd up there. And I shall join them shortly. Oh, I think I just found the perfect vantage point. Why has no one else stood here? Absolutely found the perfect vantage point. Guys, you are utterly crazy. Well, they are all tugged up with their wetsuits on. So it's probably not too bad. All queuing up to go. No shortage of volunteers. Right, going to leave those guys to it. I feel at least 10 degrees colder just watching them in that water. Going to follow the river now for a kilometre or so. Eventually you come to what appears to be a park and a widening of the river with probably a lake and so on. Let's see how many other crazy people there are in the water. It's always nice when the river flows quite quickly as well, rather than a sedate, slow one where not much happens on it. So when there's plenty of water movement, you get interesting things like water mills and other activities like we've just seen going on. Right, okay, so I think what I'm going to do now is, as I say, carry on to ʻhænoʊvər, which is kind of a lake, I think. Walk all the way around it and then head back in, go around it in a anti-clockwise direction, come back around that way and then finish back at the Hauptbahnhof in around about an hour and a half's time. Obviously this video won't last quite that long, but I will add in whatever I see along the way. So the river there's curled away from the city a little bit, and I'm just going to follow it along until we reach the lake area, the ʻhænoʊvər, I think it's called or pronounced. Looking restaurant there. Bella Vista Brücke. Well, it certainly doesn't take you long to get out of the rather nice and calm centre of Hanover out to even nicer and calmer countryside. And that lake is very big. It's telling me it's going to take me about 45 minutes from here to get to the furthest point, and I suppose another 45 to get me back around this way. But it's a nice day for walking as long as you keep moving. And I have to say there were some very interesting food options I saw in the centre of Hanover, and this walk will certainly give me the appetite for that. There's a nice looking hotel just through the trees there. Courtyard, Marriott hotels are they? It'd be a nice place to stay, especially in summertime, overlooking the lake. So the river Leider there still flowing to my right, and this is the Marriott Hotel just to the left, and then once we've cleared that will appear the lake. I'm presuming there'll be a nice lakeside path all the way around. Not quite ready for some currywurst yet, but there's a stall that is actually open. Obviously, being as it's now winter time, a lot of the stalls out here are already closed and probably won't open again until spring. But, I can confirm that there is a very nice smell of bratwurst coming from that stall there, and there's Little Beats currywurst on a cold day, stood outside in the fresh air. Just over there's the football stadium, just through the trees. Presumably no game on today. Wow, this is nice. This is certainly a nice space to get out walking or cycling. Right, so about halfway along this side of the lake. This is the quiet side really, and it would seem the side where most people are walking backhand to. Over the other side, which was my intention, I was going to walk all the way around, and I think I still will. However, that's next to a road, which is never as nice as walking with a lake on one side and a river on the other, which is where we're at here. Do that anyway, rather than just getting to the end and turning back this way. We're going through the boat club and canoeing club zone here at the moment. Not too many out on the water today though. It was a bit wider up here, and certainly good solid area to get out walking, running or cycling. Has to be said, very nice along here. I'm not so sure the walk back on the other side is going to be quite as good, but I should give it a go anyway. There's probably more opportunities to jump on that other side if it's not too interesting. Clockwise direction around the lake, and I'll just going to use Google Maps really to get me back to the Hauptbahnhof, and it seems to take me through the Südstadt, Süd, South City South kind of thing. And I've no idea what I'll see there, but I'm going to take that route anyway. If I walk down the other side of the lake, it will just be much the same as this side, with the exception, instead of a river to my right, there'll be a road. So I should mix it up slightly. But this is certainly a lovely lake and great for walking around. And in this sort of cool autumnal air, with leaves falling everywhere, it's really, really pleasant. I don't know if you can hear that. I swear the German emergency services, whichever they are, have got the loudest sirens in the world. And there's a lot of them as well. There's something kicking off somewhere. You certainly wouldn't want them going past your front window in the middle of the night doing that. The other side of the lake and heading back towards the city. You've got some options now. It's either walk from here back to the Hauptbahnhof, take around about 1 hour, and if I go and find a tram stop, which I think there's one around here fairly close by, it's telling me 19 minutes, and that includes the 5 minutes to find the tram stop, so that would be the quickest option. But I don't need to be anywhere for an hour and a half, so I'm going to take the walking option on this occasion and see what I see on the way back. And if that helicopter up there has anything to do with all the police sirens. I have to say, the police response to most things here in Germany does seem rather over the top compared to what I'm used to in Britain. A lot of criticism of the British police and their handling of things, but here they just seem to go in like a bull in a china shop. Not quite as bad as in America, but they do seem to take the act first, ask questions later kind of approach, which may be the right way of doing things, I guess, but sometimes it does seem a bit crazy what I've seen. However, I've got no idea what's going on. All I heard was a lot of sirens, and that might be a fire as well. It might not necessarily be the police. And then they go again. Oh, wow. So my conclusion on the lake is simple really. It's better to be walking over on the other side. If you like a bit more peace and quiet, this side is noisier, just simply because there's a road there. But the walking on this side is perfectly adequate. It's a good surface to cycle along, run along or walk along. And there's a few more amenities on this side should you need them. Guys out rowing there. So I'm going to be heading about half a kilometre from here. Going to be heading in from the lake back towards the Hauptbahnhof through the south of the city, and I'll come back as and when I find something of interest. Maschsee Funkhaus. There's a stadium over there. You can slightly better view of it through the trees now, and that courtyard hotel I walked round what seemed like hours ago, but in fact it was probably about an hour and a half ago. I was just trying to sift through my limited knowledge of German to remember what a Funkhaus was. Radio station, NDR. Yeah, so that's NDR is I think on NDR a TV station as well. Landers Funkhaus, Niedersachsen, Lower Saxony radio station. I can say goodbye to the lake. Very nice, very interesting. And a lovely walk around there, I have to say, although I would stick to the other side if I was doing it on a regular basis, just turning away. I originally joined the lake over there somewhere on the other side of this smaller lake that we're going to walk past, but I'm taking a right turn now up Kirchvittersplatz, up there somewhere. For once, the green man has appeared at exactly the right moment. There's a coffee stall here somewhere. I can smell the strong smell of freshly brewed coffee. Very nice it smells too, but I can't see from where. Must be over by the lake somewhere. Landesmuseum Hanover, State Museum. The province of Hanover. Very impressive looking building. As is this park with a little lake in the middle of it. So back into the Mitte, the main shopping area, with the U-Bahn running directly underneath us. Back to the Hauptbahnhof, which is about 400 yards or so beyond the centrepiece of the Christmas market. That's it's lit up a little bit now. It's starting to go dark, late afternoon, and being prepared for its grand opening in a week or two's time, I suspect. So I suppose it's time now to give an opinion on this rather quick and brief first impressions of Hanover. And what can I say? Very nice small city. Certainly would come here again, certainly would stay for a few days, try and get under the skin of the place a little bit more than I've been able to do in the last few hours. And stark comparison to Frankfurt, where I was yesterday, and indeed somewhat different to Cologne, where I'll be tomorrow. I will do another video, incidentally, on my opinion is the classic first impressions wander around Cologne, so you get a bit of everything with that, but that's for another video that you can look out for if you are interested. Anyway, back to Hanover. It's got a nice vibe, very relaxed, doesn't feel intimidating in any way whatsoever. Some fantastic green spaces to look at and walk around, the lake and alongside the river, and then this central area, which, as I say, is getting prepared now for Christmas and the Christmas markets that will be opening up soon. And that's it. Nice city. Glad I came. It was slightly by default due to an event getting cancelled very late on yesterday, so me and my buddies changed our plans at the last moment to where we were going to be going to, and decided to come here instead, and I'm certainly glad we did. So if you like this video, if you're still watching it, I guess you must have liked something about it, and so if I could ask you to click on the like button and maybe press subscribe, and if you click on the yellow bell, then it will let you know when other videos come out. I've got loads wandering around different places in Britain, in Europe, other parts of the world, the majority being in Britain and quite a few around London. So if you're interested in any of that, press the buttons and I shall see you there. Thank you very much for watching. There's the ÁN-i'vər. I need a coffee, I need something to eat, and I need to go and sit down for a little while. Thanks for watching, take care of yourselves, see you again. Cheers now, bye.